G'day guys, thanks for tuning in. It's been 1 year since I got my Ali Express Dimebag guitar, and I figure I'll answer some questions that are continuously popping up to prevent me from having to write the same thing over and over and over again. My guitar was purchased in 2003. I got it at the very beginning of 2024. It took about 4 months to receive. That was from the time I placed the order to the time it rocked up at my place. It's about 4 months. I believe the wait now is probably a little bit longer because due to the Facebook page, the guy at the guitar store, so it's called Guitar Store on AliExpress, he's very he's swamped. He's under the pump. Now, I'm not sure why, but the Guitar Store on AliExpress is no longer a thing, but he is taking orders via Facebook. So the link, don't worry about the link, it's not on AliExpress anymore. What did I do to the guitar? So it's been covered in the previous videos, but basically everything has been changed over. The only thing I have kept is the body shape, and so all the hardware, from the machine heads to the locking nut to the tremolo, that is all Goto. So this is a 1996 GE Trem. It's fantastic. These are Goto kidney shaped machine heads. Now, one thing. So I also changed the pickups. So this is a Seymour Duncan Dimebagger, and this is a 59. These are Switchcraft switches and Damasio pots. There's a kill switch in here that I don't use, but I figure I can if I want to. There's a new an output for the guitar. There was another thing that popped up on one of the questions. So this is an output. I think some people just use them interchangeably because you can't get an output unless you stick something into it. But I get that sonically speaking, it is an output and it outputs the signal from the pickup. So I get that. Let's not have a heart attack over that one. It has stainless steel frets. This is something I asked for, and they put it on. Lou put it on, or made sure that they were installed. Do I notice a difference between regular frets and the stainless steel frets? Not really, but that being said, I wouldn't like to drop it on the face of the neck anyway to test how hard the stainless steel frets are. Now, the neck profile. The neck profile is one of my biggest disappointments of this guitar. I asked for an Ibanez Wizard type neck. I like thin necks, and throughout all the conversations that I had with Lou over the internet, he assured me that it was going to be a thin neck, just as I had asked. And then upon receipt of the guitar, I found that it's quite chunky, and I'm not the biggest fan of it, but you know, I'm used to it, and it gives me a chance to practice playing on a harder to play neck for me, because it's pretty big, it's pretty thick, and look, I'd prefer it to be smaller or thinner, but it's not, and I'm stuck with it. Back in 2023, I paid $500 US for this, the 500 Australian dollars. So I'm not sure what it was in US dollars at the time, but it's a pretty cheap guitar, pretty cheap for even if you want to just hang it on the wall. I think it's a pretty cool looking piece of artwork. But yeah, I've invested in this guitar because I love it, and I think it's pretty cool, and I wanted to be able to play metal on it, and it sound good. Now you'll probably notice another thing that is rather striking is that I had quite a few people, or there was a bit of debate on there saying, you know, it's not okay to be buying Chinese replicas with Dime's name on it and Washburn on it and all. Now you know, initially I was defensive, but I get it. It's Chinese copy. So I got the Dime and the Washburn removed. So it's a no-name guitar now, and my conscience is clean. So for those people who look, some people like having the Washburn on it. I just think my personal opinion, I thought it was the right thing to remove it. So I got it removed, and then I got it resprayed and re-lacquered, and it's all sweet now. So thankfully, there was no real damage done to the paint job, and it's all sweet now. So that hopefully will answer that question, why there is no name on there anymore. What else? As I've said in previous videos, there's a bit of lacquer coming off the back of the neck. It's not bad, but I was going to sand it back, and thankfully some people said it's cool to have some wear on the neck. And Dimebag, you know, obviously from his Dime from Hell, it was totally worn. Now, one would only hope that I'll be able to wear all the lacquer off this guitar. But anyways, the tremolo, changing to this trem, it was not a drop-in replacement. There had to be extra routing done to the body. These screws, the retainer screws, string retainer screws, they had to be cut. You can buy shorter ones, but there was a bit of mucking around. Another thing that went wrong, unfortunately, was when this was routed out again, we didn't seal the cavity quickly enough, and the paint started to lift off the body, and that is why there is black around the tremolo, because we couldn't get the color matched. So we did a bit of a dodgy and painted it black around there. So it's okay now. As a result of that, the finish on this is not as glassy and as glossy as it was. So if you do make an error with your routing, or you do what happened with mine, just be mindful that your finish isn't going to be as great as it was. The binding is still holding up really, really well, and this pickup's pretty crazy. It's probably a little bit harsh for me, to be honest, a bit trebly. I am a fan of EMG pickups, but that's me. Now, that's pretty much it. So if you've got any other questions, just ask them. I'll do my best to answer your questions, and let's hear what this thing sounds like. All right. All right, someone also asked me, how does it stay in tune? Well, let's find out with some Dimebag squeals. So it sounds pretty good to me, and it holds up in tune quite well. These strings, I might add, aren't the newest; they're not the freshest of strings, but it holds up quite well. I'm happy with it. This tremolo is fantastic, and to all of you crazy people out there who are loving their Dimebag guitars, look, if it's going to be a wall hanger, it's going to be a good looking wall hanger. So and look, we get these guitars because we love them, and there is a comment in there that was about wood is wood. I don't care what type of guitar I'm playing. It could be the cheapest of cheap guitars. For goodness sake, I've got this SpongeBob SquarePants guitar here that I did a video on not long ago, just because I wanted to demonstrate that a cheap guitar can still sound good if you've got some decent gear. I think if I was to get a 1957 Strat and I was playing it through a little 10 watt Marshall, it's not going to sound very good at all. So look, I think you can get a cheap guitar, chuck in some good pickups, and you can play it through a sweet rig and it'll sound great. And that's the case with this guitar. It's a $500 guitar. I've probably thrown in another probably 800 to 1,000 Australian dollars into it, and so it's a $1,500 guitar, but it's kind of custom. It's the color I wanted, and it's not a US guitar. I just can't justify paying multiple thousands of dollars for a brand name. I think the pickups are going to, I don't think the wood is going to matter too much. I don't think someone who's going to do a blind test is going to go, oh, that was this timber and this is I don't think it's an easily discernible thing, especially when you've got some high gain pickups and you're playing through distortion, and then you're going through a mix as well. One more thing that came up was the headstocks. So some people are saying that the headstocks are a bit funny or off-putting. It's not the Dean headstock. It is the Washburn, and you can see that one horn is taller, or it's offset than the other horn. I think it looks cool. It's kind of like look, the whole guitar is pointy, so have a pointy headstock and be happy. All right. So until next time, thanks guys. Chuck us a like, chuck us a subscribe, and let's hopefully I can build this channel up. Take care.